Another story on the Oz tomorrow is China's wolf warrior slinks away, bloodied but unbowed. After baring his fangs at Australia for so long, China's self-styled wolf warrior is leaving Canberra with barely a whimper. Ambassador Cheng Jingye hasn't completely run out of friends after his tumultuous 5-year posting in Canberra, but it's fair to say they were thin on the ground. I think there was some murmurings that he was on his way out when he hosted that weird press conference at the embassy a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Tom O'Connell from Sky did a great job in quizzing him, and they didn't like that too much.
I don't think the agricultural people will be too happy or too sad to see him go. I think those that make wine won't be too disappointed to see him disappear.
Those that make wagyu, those that make lobster.
Beef. I mean, everything that seemed to be... Look, we've had a pretty tough time with China, and he definitely goes into bat for them, as you would want from a council, from your diplomat, but a little bit too harsh, I would say. And I'm not sure that he's won a lot of friends here, but he does go into bat for China, and he bats probably a little too hard. Yeah,
look, I think he could probably get a start up in our T20 side if he did stick around, that's for sure. Also on the Oz tomorrow, surge in tax averts Delta recession, an $8 billion budget boost despite the lockdowns, an exclusive by Simon Benson, who's the Oz's political editor. Australia will avoid a second COVID-19 recession with signs the national economy has weathered Victorian and New South Wales Delta lockdowns amid a surge in company and personal tax receipts that has delivered an unexpected windfall to the federal budget. This is just reminding me, Nick, I've got to do my tax.
You've got to do your tax. Well,
hurry up.
Do you mean Scott Morrison's got more money coming? He's got more money coming from you, and I dare say there'd be a nice cheque. Jenna, this is probably the big thing for Scott Morrison and the Prime Minister to hear this and go, you know what, we've done okay. And it does vindicate everything that he's put forward and he's done over the period of time. He's kept jobs in place. So as a result, people are paying more company tax, they're paying more personal income tax and keeping the economy going. So I think this is a big tick for the Prime Minister.
And also Josh Frydenberg done pretty well keeping all of the checks and balances in place. Let's go to the Sydney Morning Herald now. Obviously being the paper in town of Sydney, ex-Premier, I'll throw money at the electorate. But this really interesting story, Libs were set to cross the floor to halt the Nats. Liberal MPs were so concerned that federal cabinet would cave to demands from the Nationals on climate change policy, they formed a secret group to push Prime Minister Scott Morrison on the issue, raising the prospect of crossing the floor in Parliament. Worried that the Nationals would block a crucial pledge to cut greenhouse gas emissions to net zero by 2050, the Liberals mobilised in a meeting with Mr Morrison on September 28 to make it clear they could not accept a climate plan without the target. I think we've seen this before in 2018, I believe.
Yeah. But what's pleasing to see with that is that there are Liberals that actually have the mindset to see that our environment is still very important and we've got to get there. And the fact that they were going to push the Prime Minister to really, we're going to make this happen and we're going to cross floors here.
Yeah.
And if they had done that, that would have been a political nightmare there for the Prime Minister. But as a result, we didn't get there, and that coming out to light now, not that good for the Liberal Party, and particularly for the Prime Minister. It's a bit of an own goal.
Specifically when he's on a plane to Glasgow and he can't respond. So it's a pretty little interesting story there.